Hi, I'm Amanda from Integrative Healing with Amanda Butler. I provide energy healing combined with psychological perspectives to facilitate a deeper connection with the divine within. And today we're going to be doing a clearing around healing sibling relationships. And so, obviously this applies to a brother or sister, someone you're directly related to, but it can also apply to step siblings, foster siblings, siblings in law, even people you just feel like you kind of have a sibling dynamic with. Like, I'm reminded of a friend in college who was like the older brother that I never had. So, anywhere there's a sibling relationship of some kind or a dynamic that's like a sibling relationship, that's what we're working on clearing. And so, one way this can also show up is even in relationships, like intimate relationships with a partner. There can be some kind of sibling kind of dynamic. Like, let's say I was with someone a little bit older than me who I felt like, oh, he's so much more successful than me. He's done this and that, and I'm always running behind him, trying to catch up to where he is. That's, maybe something like how I might feel about an older sibling than a partner. So, clearing that kind of sibling dynamic in any kind of relationships, any kind of dynamics in sibling relationships, relationships that feel like sibling relationships that are no longer serving us, so that the relationship can go to a higher level of consciousness and feel better for all of those involved. So that's what we're doing today. And the archetypal inspiration for this is that there are a lot of stories about siblings out in the collective consciousness, lots of things on TV shows, movies, in books, plays, there are all kinds of stories like that sibling relationship or family relationship overall, and we'll do some other things related to family relationships in future videos. But that sibling relationship story is one of the oldest archetypal stories we have. Like, if you've ever read the Bible, like the first story in the Bible is, Cain and Abel, the two brothers. So, like, this is a really old story, a really powerful story within the collective consciousness, is that sibling relationship and all of the stories that we have around it. Lots of TV sitcoms that feature a sibling relationship. There's a lot of comedy to be found in that, especially if we're talking about like sibling rivalry and that kind of thing, competitiveness with siblings. So again, clearing any and all dynamics in sibling relationships or relationships that have a sibling element to it, I guess, and kind of clearing that archetype into its highest and brightest and best state, moving the relationship to the next level of consciousness, to a higher level of consciousness with more love and more joy, to have just an improved relationship overall with siblings or other people, who there's that similar kind of relationship with, where things feel better. And if we're really talking about the level of seeing this through the eyes of the divine within us, we're all connected, and in a way we're all brothers and sisters, right? Because we're all connected through that web of life, through our connection to spirit, through being expressions of spirit. So we're all brothers and sisters, and we all maybe could benefit from a clearing of the connection between us in that way. So bringing that element in too. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We prep to work first. This is like asking permission from your soul, connecting to Source, which is what does the clearing, and making sure we're prepped to work. Getting started. Okay, so where do we start for bringing healing to our sibling relationships, taking these to the highest level of love and consciousness that we can get to today through this video? Okay, so starting with giving freedom. And this is a modality that I've added recently. It was created by Mary Jean Chadwick with Chris Stavro. And if you would like to learn this for yourself, the charts are out there for you to buy and learn to work with yourself. And I believe the website is givingfreedom.us, but you can type it in on your favorite search engine, Giving Freedom Charts, and you could probably find it that way too. Okay, so starting with chart number 2, expanded love, clearing around sincerity. Clearing around sincerity, bringing in trust, maybe anywhere trust has been lost through certain family dynamics or dynamics in the sibling relationships overall, bringing in that trust and sincerity. That maybe it's safe to speak up, to speak with your siblings in a way that you haven't before. There's no need for maybe being silent anymore. Okay. Seeing where we go next. Chart 4, clearing spiritual wounding. Clearing any shifts into unreality. Bringing in the spiritual aspect of friendliness, clearing any unforgiveness, bringing in reverence. Okay, where do we go next? Chart 6, confusion. And clearing around anything where anyone involved is not willing to take responsibility, and clearing to bring in that willingness to take responsibility only for what is yours. So taking responsibility for your part in the dynamics of the relationship, because whatever kind of relationship we're talking about, it's something that you do together. So each person has something that they contribute to it. Clearing just to take responsibility for your contribution without maybe making it like, oh, it's all my fault or it's all his or her fault. So bringing in grace. Clearing the suffering, the self-punishment, and creating the way for a more abundant relationship, more of an abundance of love and grace. And if you would like something, a video that is specifically on giving and receiving grace, I have another one. I'll link to that in the comments or the video description. And chart 7, disappointment. Very easy to be disappointed in our family members. Family really is our first experience of any kind of group dynamics and kind of forms the basis in a way for how we interact with other groups of people or other people generally. So clearing allergic to self-love, bringing in love of life, clearing guilt, bringing in justice, bringing in justice, sense of justice, bringing in greater self-love, and greater self-love also often opens up a path to greater love for others and vice versa. So greater love for another, feeling like a very deep love for another, can also be a pathway to self-love. So perhaps if it is a good sibling relationship and you do feel a lot of love for them, that can be a pathway to deeper love for yourself. Okay. And chart number 8, turning point. Bringing in healing solutions. Again, bringing in spiritual aspects of sincerity, bringing in greater authenticity as part of these healing solutions. Okay, about 50% through with this modality of clearing anything and everything we can clear with giving freedom today. Moving on to chart 9, not embracing magnificence. So clearing anywhere where we're not doing that, and clearing the way to find our authentic self. Again, these, really close relationships with others, like family members, other people we're really close with, can be a pathway to more of a connection with our authentic self. Like, let's say there's something, my sister does that I really admire, and there's all of these great things about her. I can perhaps look within myself to find those things I admire in her, in myself as well. Our relationships are often mirrors of our authentic self. So clearing to find authentic self, bringing in purpose and sympathy, clearing any self-destruction, is that we're embracing our magnificence in all of our relationships. Okay, moving on to chart number 12, soul entanglements. Clearing for spontaneous healing of belief, or shattering the paradigm of false limits. Because in spiritual reality, we really are limitless. There are, of course, certain limiting circumstances involved in having this human experience. But there is no limit on love. And like, if love has been lost, or it feels like maybe something has gone wrong that's beyond repair, that's kind of an illusion. There's no limit, and there's always hope. So things can be repaired, even if maybe it doesn't seem that way. If you want it to, and if you're willing, is what I'm getting there. So spontaneous healing of belief, bringing in joy, bringing in self-esteem, healing any feelings of separation or unworthiness. The separation, the unworthiness, it's a false limit. Okay. Moving on to chart 14, I am level consciousness. Life nourishes and supports. So creating a shift where if the sibling relationships have been something that's kind of draining and hasn't been very good, creating a shift for those to open up into something that is nourishing and supportive rather than draining or feeling kind of crappy. Another thread in the fabric of life, so to speak, where there are all kinds of relationships that we're involved in, all of these things that we're doing, and the sibling relationships with those who we're in that kind of relationship with can be something nourishing and supportive. Right. Okay, so we're at about 80%. And clearing any feelings of PTSD associated with any sibling relationships or any negative experiences with siblings or in the family. Sibling relationships can be great. And at the same time, in my other work that I do, I'm a marriage and family therapist. I've heard from a lot of people who have had a really lot of terrible experiences with siblings, things that were abusive, things that were traumatic. And so clearing any PTSD involved in sibling relationships and bringing healing to those traumas, things like that. So this is addressing the full spectrum of experiences. And as always, this is just kind of a sampling. If you would like a deeper clearing on sibling relationships or any other topic that you'd like to discuss, you can get 10% off of any clearing session by mentioning this video. And if you are specifically wanting a clearing regarding sibling relationships or other types of relationships, mention this video and you will get 50% off my relationship reconnection session. It's specifically about relationships. So check that out if there is a relationship in your life that you would like to bring some additional healing to. And I'll put a link to that in the video description and in the comments. Okay, so about 90% done with this modality. Seeing where we go next. Chart 28, flow. Being in the flow of life. Clearing to be in that flow, to be in that space where there is ease and grace, where things feel like they are working out and coming together in a more joyful way. So clearing for flow. Moving on to chart 29. Clearing around any mistakes. Anywhere you feel like you've made a mistake, anything where it maybe even feels like the other person has made a mistake. Clearing to bring in forgiveness for self and others, clearing the mistakes, clearing wherever it feels like something went wrong. Okay. Clearing chart 32, magnificent. Really bringing in that extra energy to embrace. are magnificent, bring that magnificence into our relationships with others, including being open to possibilities, clearing around possibilities where, maybe it didn't seem like there was any healing possible, or things, again, just are permanently messed up or bad. Clearing for new possibilities. Okay, moving on to chart 33, self. Clearing for self-harmony. When you are in harmony with yourself, it becomes easier to have more harmonious relationships with other people, including siblings, family members, partners, bringing more self-harmony into our relationship with ourselves, and then being in that place of self-harmony when we interact with others. Okay, and 0 to 100, how much of this clearing has been done? Okay, so I'm getting the mop-up signal, so we're going to do a mop-up on giving freedom and see where else we need to go to clear today for bringing healing to sibling relationships. Okay, and from 0 to 100, out of anything and everything that can be cleared today, how much have we cleared? 75%. Okay, and let's see where we go now. Integrating divine union. This is a great modality for clearing relationships of all kinds. It was created by Alexandra Dobages of Spiritual Healing Therapy. She also has a YouTube channel. Her website is spiritualhealingtherapy.com, and these charts should be available there from her if you would like to learn this modality for yourself. This is a great modality for bringing in the connection to the divine within us, that inner union with our divine self, and then from there being able to extend out into more harmonious relationships with other people. So integrating divine union. Let's see what we have here. Making some consciousness adjustments, clearing any miscellaneous programs that keep us out of harmony, out of union, out of feeling that union and harmony with others that we're in relationship with. Chart 2B, divine union. Clearing any desire to hold back. Chart 5, energies. Clearing any sabotage energies. In lots of different kinds of relationships, it's easy to get into a place of sabotage, so clearing that. Okay. go next? Chart 8. Clearing any malfunctions, anything that gets in the way of centering ourselves, like kind of being centered in that self-harmony. And from there, being able to be in more harmonious relationships with siblings. Okay, where do we go next? Chart 11, presence. Clearing anything that's stagnant, any feelings of stagnation. So that we can be more present. Moving on to chart 17. Chart 17 is all about judgments. So clearing any judgments on others, judgments others have on us, and clearing for allowance of, feels to me like seeing beyond those judgments. So clearing judgments, clearing for allowance. Moving on, chart 23. And clearing any torment. This is a good one. I know a lot of people who have felt tormented by a brother or a sister when they were kids, or maybe someone was the tormentor of their younger sibling. So clearing any torment. Okay, chart 30, soul's integration. Washing light, bringing in that bright, divine light to wash the situation clean, wash the relationships clean. Washing light, washing away, and clearing anything and everything that needs to be cleared to integrate this healing into the experience of the soul moving forward. Bringing in that washing light as much as needed, as often as needed, for as long as needed, and always needed. Okay. Chart 33, core energies. Clearing any core elements that need to be cleared. And from 0 to 100, how much have we cleared? So 100% with IDU. Okay, seeing if there's anything else we can clear today for our sibling relationships. From 0 to 100, out of anything and everything that can be cleared today, how much have we cleared? 100%. From 0 to 100, how much do your higher self and my higher self agree that everything has been cleared? 100%. Anything else to say? Anything else to do? Anything else to clear? Okay, that's a wrap. So thank you for joining me today for this clearing to heal sibling relationships. As always, please drink a lot of water after listening to a clearing video, more water than you would usually drink to assist in clearing out any toxins, anything else that needs to be cleared, any energies, things like that. And so we've done this clearing, and I was mentioning in the video about stories in the collective consciousness, about siblings and whatnot, and humor is also a thing that can be healing. So I'm going to pop a link to a funny scene about some siblings from a sitcom that I liked growing up. Maybe you'll like it too. It's pretty funny. So if you need a good laugh, you can watch that. And I hope that this video has been helpful and a blessing to you. If you would like a deeper clearing on this or any other topic, you can reach me at amandabutler.net and book a session there. Again, 50% off a relationship reconnection clearing if you mention this video, or 10% off any of the other services I offer. If you found this video helpful, please click like and subscribe and leave a comment letting me know what you thought of it. I love hearing from you, and I do reply. Or if there's a particular story about siblings out there in the collective consciousness, like something on TV or in a movie or a book or whatever that really speaks to you, and you want to mention that, I'd love to hear about that as well. And once again, thank you for joining me tonight. I hope that this is very helpful to you, and namaste.